Bctv local and African news bulletin for Wednesday, September 24th. President Joseph Boakai has told the United Nations General Assembly of Liberia's pledge of zero tolerance for gender-based violence, a permanent ban on harmful cultural practices, and a national action plan for young women and girls. The Ministry of Mines and Energy has ordered the immediate closure of all illicit mining operations in Durban City, Grand Cru County. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have announced their withdrawal from the International Criminal Court. President Joseph Boakai has told the United Nations General Assembly that Liberia is moving from pledges to results in advancing gender equality and women's empowerment. Speaking at the 4th World Conference on Women, President Boakai announced an $8.3 billion 5-year agenda for inclusive development with gender equality, youth empowerment, education, and healthcare at its core. He pledged zero tolerance for gender-based violence, a permanent ban on harmful cultural practices, and a national action plan for young women and girls. The Liberian president highlighted progress already being made. The Women Empowerment Project, impacting more than 260,000 Liberians, and the Realize Project, which supports vulnerable households, mostly women. Other programs are equipping tens of thousands of adolescent girls and skills and opportunities being provided, with over 160,000 others to benefit by 2021. The president assured that during Liberia's term on the UN Security Council, women and youth will have a strong voice in shaping the global peace and security agenda. Citizens and observers watching the president's speech noted that the last few sentences were suddenly muted. No explanation has been provided by the executive mansion. The interim management team of Liberia's Drug Enforcement Agency has dismissed 6 officers after they tested positive for narcotics use. According to the LDEA, the move is part of efforts to restore public confidence and strengthen integrity within the institution mandated to combat illicit drugs. The LDEA management stressed that those tasked with enforcing drug laws must uphold the highest standards of discipline, and anyone compromised by drug use cannot be trusted with such critical national duty. The action comes as government intensifies its war on drugs, declared earlier this year by President Joseph Boakai. Public reaction has been mixed, some praising the bold cleanup, while others fear the problem runs deeper within law enforcement. In more local news, the Ministry of Mines and Energy of Liberia has ordered the immediate closure of all mining operations in Durban City, Grand Cru County, southeastern Liberia, following confirmation of massive illicit mining in the middle of the city. According to the ministry, this is the second closure order issued this year, after the first was ignored. A compliance team led by Chief Mining Engineer James Smith found that illegal miners had excavated pits as deep as 27 and 24 meters, posing serious risk to homes and the main road to Barclayville. The ministry further disclosed that some local officials were colluding with the miners and warned residents not to be lured by gifts or inducements to support illegal activities. You're listening to the Bctv News Summary. And away from Liberia, Africa News website reports that Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have announced their withdrawal from the International Criminal Court, denouncing it as a tool of neo-colonial repression. The The three military-led governments, which came to power through recent coups, argued that the ICC unfairly targets weaker nations while ignoring others. The decision, which takes effect 1 year after notification to the UN Secretary General, will now affect cases of investigations already opened. The countries say they plan to establish their own justice systems rooted in indigenous mechanisms and national sovereignty. And in Guinea, provisional results showed that over 90% of voters backed a constitutional referendum that could allow the ruling junta leader to run for president. The referendum is seen as a key step in the country's transition from military to civilian rule, but critics have condemned it as a power grab. General Mamadi Doumbouya, who seized power 4 years ago, has not confirmed whether he will contest the upcoming election. Opposition parties boycotted the vote, while regional observers are closely watching developments in the coup-hit Sahel region. The weather forecast for Tapmanburg-Bomi County for Wednesday, September 24th. It will be cloudy most of the day with occasional rain. 82 degrees with a 63% chance of rain. The currency exchange rate is 179 Liberian dollars to $1 United States dollar. To summarize, President Joseph Boakai has told the UN General Assembly of Liberia's pledge of zero tolerance for gender-based violence, a permanent ban on harmful cultural practices, and a national action plan for young women and girls. Liberia's Ministry of Mines and Energy has ordered the immediate closure of all illicit mining operations in Dwogbo City, Grand Cru County. And Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have announced their withdrawal from the International Criminal Court. That's the Bctv local and African news summary up to the minute.